Welcome back, Dino fans, to another epic adventure. Get ready because today things are about to get spooky. Down in the deepest, greenest part of the jungle, our favorite dinosaur crew is gearing up for the best night of the year, Halloween. Look at Rex over there trying to carve a pumpkin with his tiny arms. Oh, the struggle is real. And check out the Stegosaurus, carefully hanging cobwebs between the giant ferns. Everyone's getting into the spirit, especially this T-Rex, who's somehow squeezed into a pointy witch hat and is trying, bless his heart, to hold a broom. It's not going well, but it's hilarious. He's ready to fly. Or, just waddle menacingly. Suddenly, just as the last pumpkin is lit, the ground starts to shake. A deep rumble echoes through the trees, and a thick, spooky fog rolls in, swallowing everything in a blanket of gray. When it starts to clear, something impossible is standing there. A huge, abandoned theme park, complete with a creaky Ferris wheel and a twisted roller coaster right in the middle of their jungle. Where did that come from? The sign flickers to life. Dino Land Fright Fest. It looks creepy. It looks mysterious, but hey, it also looks like a place that might have mountains of candy. With a collective shrug and a rumble of hungry tummies, the dinos decide there's only one thing to do: explore. Adventure and candy await. The bravest of the bunch, a pack of curious raptors, cautiously step through the rusted gates and head straight for a building marked Fun House of Mirrors. Inside, it's a maze of reflective glass. At first, it's all fun and games, with the raptors making silly faces at their distorted reflections. But then, the mirrors flicker. Their reflections twist and warp, turning into ghostly, transparent versions of themselves with glowing eyes and spooky, silent snarls. The raptors freeze, their playful chirps turning into shrieks of panic. They try to run, but they can't tell which way is out. One raptor smashes into a mirror, which sends another tumbling backward, who then trips a third, setting off a hilarious slapstick chain reaction of scaly bodies, flailing claws, and confused squawks. They finally burst out of the funhouse, dizzy and disoriented, tumbling into a giant heap outside. Well, that was one way to make an entrance. Shaking off the mirror madness, the group stumbles upon a carnival game area. A sign reads Pumpkin Ring Toss. Seems easy enough, right? Wrong. As a Triceratops tries to toss a ring, the jack-o'-lanterns on the posts suddenly spring to life. Their carved smiles stretch into menacing grins filled with sharp wooden teeth, and they hop off their posts, chasing the dinos around the midway. It's absolute chaos. A Brachiosaurus tries to stomp on one, but it's too fast. Just when it looks like they're about to become pumpkin chow, the Stegosaurus swings into action. Whipping its mighty tail around, it uses its sharp thagomizers like giant skewers, perfectly catching the pumpkin fiends one by one. Phew, that was a close call. The dinos cheer for their spiky hero, who proudly shows off his pumpkin kebabs. Maybe they can roast these later? Next up, the ghost train. The whole gang piles into the rickety roller coaster cars, excited for a thrilling ride. The coaster clacks up the first massive hill, the wind whistling past their scales. But as they plunge into the first dark tunnel, they're not alone anymore. Ghostly skeletons, shimmering with an eerie blue light, suddenly pop up in the empty seats, waving their bony arms and letting out spooky, wailing moans. Our T-Rex, still wearing his witch hat, lets out a scream so high-pitched it could shatter glass. It's a wild chase through terrifying loops and stomach-churning drops, with ghosts phasing in and out of the cars, trying to spook the dinos. The pterodactyls flying alongside are having a blast, but Rex is having a full-blown meltdown, his tiny arms flailing as he screams louder than any of the ghosts. This is one ride they'll never forget. After escaping the ghost train, the dinos find something wonderful, a giant, fluffy, pink mountain of cotton candy. But there's a problem. A pack of pterodactyls, swooping in for a sugary snack, got a little too close to the machine. It sputtered, coughed, and then exploded in a massive puff of pink, sticky sugar. Now, the poor flying reptiles are completely tangled in giant, fluffy webs of cotton candy, stuck to the trees and each other. They're flapping their wings, but it's no use. Seeing their friends in a sticky situation, the smaller dinos, like the little Compsognathus, rush to the rescue. They start nibbling and chewing at the sugary webs, freeing the pterodactyls one bite at a time. It's a slow process, but soon everyone is laughing, covered head to claw in pink fluff, with a sweet taste of victory. Rescue missions are always better with snacks. As they venture deeper into the creepy park, the air grows cold. They find themselves in a dark, cavernous area at the park's center. And there, floating in the middle of it all, is a glowing shard of a meteor, pulsing with a sinister green light. It hums with a strange power that makes their scales tingle. As the light intensifies, the ground begins to tremble violently. Oh no, not again. But this time, it's worse. All around them, the earth cracks open, and giant, fossilized dinosaur skeletons begin to rise from the ground. Their empty eye sockets glow with the same eerie green light as the meteor. An army of skeletal dinosaurs, a fossilized T-Rex, a bony Triceratops, and more assembles before them, creaking and groaning as they prepare to attack. The real horror has just begun. This isn't a game anymore. The ultimate showdown is here. The living dinos versus their skeletal ancestors. The battle is intense. The Stegosaurus deflects bony claws with its armored plates, while the raptors use their speed to dodge the snapping jaws of the skeleton T-Rex. Our hero, the T-Rex in the witch hat, knows he has to do something. He stands tall, takes a deep breath to let out his most terrifying, world-shaking roar to rally his friends. He opens his mighty jaws and a tiny, pathetic squeak comes out. The witch hat wobbles on his head. There's a moment of stunned silence, and then the entire dino crew bursts out laughing. The raptors are rolling on the ground, the brachiosaurus is chuckling deeply, and even the pterodactyls are giggling from above. The sound of their pure, joyful laughter echoes through the park, and something magical happens. The laughter hits the glowing meteor shard like a shockwave, causing it to crack. The green light flickers and dies. The spell is broken. The giant dinosaur skeletons clatter and collapse into harmless piles of bones on the ground. As the last bone settles, the creepy theme park begins to fade. The roller coaster, the funhouse, and all the spooky games dissolve back into the thick fog from which they came. In a blink, the dinos are back in their familiar jungle, surrounded by their hand-carved pumpkins. The only things left from their adventure are the giant bags of candy that mysteriously appeared at their feet, and the faint smell of sugar in the air. As the sun rises on a new day, they look at each other tired but happy. They learned a valuable lesson. Halloween is definitely more fun with friends. And while haunted theme parks are exciting, nothing beats the safety of home. And a little laughter can defeat even the biggest, scariest monsters. What an incredible Halloween adventure. Who knew a squeak could be so powerful? Thanks so much for joining us on this spooky, silly ride. If you had as much fun as we did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another Dynamite story. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye.